running out of options. Raise age is a callous on my heart.
Welcome back to Between the Takes. I am here with John Pronto. Honestly, I thought it was a stage name for a second when I first read it.
Well, it is actually.
Oh, never mind.
So
Gotcha.
you were right. You were right.
Oh, where did John Pronto come from?
So my band was Pronto.
Okay.
So really, like when my drummer, we keep talking about my drummer, having a baby and all that stuff, and kind of taking that step back, I was like, I want to go out and play kind of by myself. And my last name is McDonald, so it's not like it's not a great like stage name, and also it's like I kind of didn't want people to like know it was me at first. So
fair.
It's one of those things where I was like, this is easy, and it looks somewhat interesting to maybe somebody else. So.
Little anonymity.
Yeah, exactly.
Anonymity? Yeah.
From behind the curtain a little bit,
But yeah, John Pronto, please introduce yourself. Let them know who you are, what it is you do.
So I am John Pronto. I am an Americana artist, which we were talking about before.
Yeah,
what that actually means is no one really knows. It's the umbrella term for folk, blues, country, I guess. But I always do get that question. It's like, how would you describe your music? And I would just say a little of all those kinds of things, because my music tastes are pretty broad. So just trying to do pull in things from different genres and things like that too. So it's you could do whatever you want.
Yeah,
there's no rules.
No, that's a great way to approach it too. Having just the flexibility. That seems to be the theme with a lot of artists that I talk to. When they don't know specifically how to nail themselves down on a genre, they like the flexibility to just do whatever. Because creativity in music, you can't always feel like it's always going to be one style.
Yeah.
Because you got, especially with a single name artist, it's so easy to jump around. Like you got like John Mayer. That man has done like 30 genres across all his albums.
Yeah.
You got Tyler, the Creator, has done multiple genres across his albums. Like it's easier, especially as a solo artist versus a band.
Yeah. And I just think some of like my favorite artists are just, I don't like when it's the first album, second, third, fourth, fifth album, it all kind of sounds the same. I think I have a lot of respect for musicians that can do multiple different things. I think it speaks a lot to like how talented you are, whether it's being a musician or a songwriter or combination, all those things, just to be able to do different things and have all of those things be good. I mean,
It even shows your growth as a musician, because if you're doing the same thing over and over again, I feel like it doesn't show that you're taking the time to see what else there is to try, what else is out there to play with.
And I think it's hard too. I always think about like artists too that are like, you've like this one thing worked for you, so it's like we're gonna do this over and over again, and like that works for a lot of people, and like a lot of artists are really successful doing those kinds of things. But I like when you do take the risk. Like for example, one of my favorites is like Sturgill Simpson. I don't know how familiar you are with him, but like he's got country albums, bluegrass albums. He did a really cool like rock concept album. I'm a big vinyl guy, and I don't listen to him as much as I should now, because it's just like
life.
You need you need like a good like setup, and like the way where my house is now, it's all it's all over the place. But like that's a great concept album. It's something to listen to like from beginning to end. It's called Sound and Fury.
Okay.
So that's a good one for if
I'll
anyone.
have to check that one out.
It's really cool, but I love stuff like that too. Like another one of my favorite albums of all time is Animals, Pink Floyd. Like any kind of Pink Floyd from start to finish is always it's great. Like songs are like 20 minutes.
They make it as an experience.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like things like that too. But just like, or like, even like the Beatles as artists, like, the White Album to Sgt. Pepper's, it's all just so different. And like, I respect that aspect. And like, listen, don't get me wrong, like another band I've been into recently too, like that I've come back to like years later, is the Ramones. Every Ramones song sounds exactly the same, but again, I love that too. But it's like, I love if you can do different things as an artist, I think that's really, really cool, and I have a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. And listening to your music even with just the 3 songs we did, even though it was all on acoustic, you could hear the commonality of all the songs, especially because I think you were saying they're all from within 1 or 2 projects of each other. So you see how they're all connected, but they've all got their own little different twinges and breakoffs that they're playing with.
Yeah, yeah.
What were the 3 songs again?
So the first one we did was called Copper. That's from my latest EP that's out. It came out in August. I think there's 6 songs on that one, and I worked with guy who produced everything. His name is called Grateful Dave. He does a lot of stuff down at the shore. Like he does, produces stuff. He's always playing out. He does a lot of like Grateful Dead stuff. But he kind of played all the other instruments and stuff on there. Like I played bass, I played some harmonica on there, but he tracked the drums and everything. And he's got the hardest job in America because I never play on time. So having him, and like we didn't do it to a click, so it speeds up, it slows down. It's one of those things. So that poor guy works very hard, and I pay him in cases of beer. So it's a good relationship, but he's a hardworking guy. That's the latest one. And then the first one I did was me and one of my buddies. We just kind of recorded it like just acoustic. This is when, my band was on more of a hiatus. It was just kind of just me. And before I even started playing shows and stuff by myself, we just went out into like the woods and we just set up like 2 mics and recorded that. And then I was getting antsy about it because I was like, I got to do something music wise. And then I remember I was in the Sun Valley in Idaho at like 11 o'clock at night, just on like a trip out there with my family.
That's cool.
And I was like, I'm just gonna post this out there and just see, and like it's nice because it's like see that first EP where it's like 3 or 4 songs I think to like the next one 6, and then the new project I have coming out, it's gonna be I think 8 full instrumental, but just coming from just those acoustic things and like kind of getting better as a songwriter and having more instrumentation and moving up in terms of just having the confidence to play on my own and put things out. I mean, it's been for a long time it was hard, like a hard reality for me to face, like not having my band and kind of doing it by myself. So it's been cool to kind of see where you started from and kind of where it is now. And it's only been I think a little over a year, maybe like a year and a half or something like that, since I've been doing stuff by myself. So it's cool to see the progression.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what was the name of the third song again? I completely blanked on that one.
And the third one was Vilified.
Vilified.
And I think that's going to be the name of the album, EP, whatever you want to call it. I think that's what the name of it's going to be. But I'm still sorting
Still
that
up in there. Yeah. Yeah. You're good. That'll be coming out soon. Not long after this session actually comes out, which is going to be really cool. I'm always excited to hear, you're saying that it's going to have the full instrumentation like every song on that project. I'm excited to hear that because I love hearing the differences of how people bring, especially acoustic sessions to the futon sessions versus what it sounds like on the actual recording. That's part of why I like doing these acoustic sessions, because the live sessions, you get to hear a different version of what's going on in the artist's head than just the basic produced full production sound.
Yeah, no, I love that too. That's why I love like just listening to other acoustic sessions, like what you guys do, and like even just other podcast acoustic sessions too, just to hear the, it's very dynamic, just the differences between all those things. So, like the one song, like, and it's cool too, is like when I just sit in my basement and write these songs or whatever, it's like become like an obsession too, just to be able to like write and just having songs and just having things in the back catalog. But the first song that's going to be on there it's called Cold Sun, and I think it turned out really the best out of all of those in terms of production, all that stuff. That song just acoustic as opposed to the production version of that, it's like two different songs, so it's cool to see that that difference,
the metamorphosis that comes out of it. That's cool.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
With the with those tracks, now that you've got like a band that you're working with regularly, you were saying that the one producer that you work with, he'll play everything on some of your projects. Are you having your band now run with that, or do you kind of feel like as a solo artist, you're just kind of using whoever you want to?
So I think that's also cool too, because the way that he'll produce it is there'll be different guitar riffs and things like that. I let my band, because like those 2 guys are badass in terms of just good musicians, and I go, hey, here's what the recording sounds like, you play what you want on there, because I know they're good enough to whatever they're going to do. We've been playing for long enough now together as like a whole band, as originally just Pronto as a band, which is definitely more of an indie rock thing as opposed to this is more like in that Americana sound or whatever you'd call it. But like just letting those guys do what they want to do, and like the the solo version when I play by myself, as opposed to the production version, as opposed to what we sound like out as a whole band is like it's all different. It could be different songs, which again I love that. Like I think it's really cool.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Seeing that flexibility is, even just as a band, recognizing that you can do all of them different is nice. Yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say? You were talking about some shows that you had coming up. I thought it was really cool just how far you felt like you've reached. You said something about South Carolina, I want to say.
Yeah. So this weekend and Sunday, I'll be playing this place. It's called Smiley's on the Rocks. It's in Greenville, South Carolina, which is pretty cool. It's like right outside. It's like what they would call upstate South Carolina, which is like up in like the mountains and stuff like that. So like Western South Carolina. And like, honestly, it's cool. It's kind of a full circle thing. Cause like the first time I ever did open mic, we were in, me and my girlfriend were in Asheville, North Carolina. So that's where we're going to fly into Saturday morning. And that's where I did my first open mic and just played by myself for the first time. And it's like 40 minutes from there. So we'll fly in there. And like, I love that section of like North Carolina, like Western North Carolina, drive that Blue Ridge Parkway. And, but Greenville is really cool. Like, you know, like just looking up like other places to play, like how this whole thing is just like unraveled for me too. Like, again, I just get like obsessed with like playing places, writing songs and like putting stuff out, like be like, well, you know, I've played in like New York and Philly. It's like, well, what if we go somewhere else and just send out booking emails and see like who will have me. And like, and I also think it's just good for like exposure, but, the Greenville, South Carolina is where, again, a person I love too is like has genre blending like music is Marcus King. So he's from Greenville, South Carolina too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So
I love Marcus King.
Yeah,
he's a crazy guitar player.
His
ridiculous. Voice is just it doesn't match his face. It always throws me off whenever I listen to him. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Marcus King.
Yeah, I know. But he's the man. He's just like a beast. And like, you know, just listening to him, like, because I'm always listening to podcasts and musicians and stuff just to be like, how do you do things? How do you write and all that stuff? But he always talks about how good of a music town Greenville, South Carolina is. And like when I was looking into it, there's a bunch of venues on, I think like the main strip there that, you know, they have like all original music, like almost every night. Like this place, Smiley's has, I was looking at the, like their website like every day, and like that's a 3-hour gig, which is long. Yeah. But so I'll throw like covers and stuff in there too. And I think bar gigs like that. Like I just played. I'm originally from Hillsborough, so that's like northwest-ish, like Jersey. But I just played a gig on Friday there, back like in my hometown, and like I always like to throw like, you know, bar gigs and breweries, stuff like that. Like here's like, you know, Jim Croce song, and I'll sneak mine in, and then here's a, you know, Pink Floyd song, and then here's mine. You know, just mixing things in. But I'm excited to go down to Greenville, and like Carolinas are great, and like it's a good getaway for like a weekend. It's like flight's like an hour or something like that. So
not bad at all for the investment, because even it's just a nice little getaway for you.
Yeah.
With I think you kind of said your approach for it, but like how do you go about getting the bookings that are out of state, or just especially the bookings that are like a drive away? Because I feel like a lot of venues try to avoid non-local artists, especially if they're if they're smaller, just because they don't see the draw or appeal for that artist for them.
So I don't know. I think I've just gotten lucky by doing that, and like I just whatever in that area, like wherever there's a live music, especially like original music place, like in whatever area it is, I just send out emails, and I go email, and then I go Instagram, and then if I don't get anything, I go on to the next one and just move on. But like in the fall, I did a gig in Nashville, which was cool. So that was kind of my first experience, like kind of doing that. And then in like July, I kind of have something on the books for Seattle, because I'm just going out there. Like really wherever I kind of travel to, I'm always like, let me bring my guitar, and like, because again, it's just me. It's easy to do that. And also when the first time I flew with my guitar was down in Nashville in the fall, and the perks at TSA were very nice. Like people would just move me through security, and they're like, no, just go over here. You can go in clear, because you know, you have your guitar. And it's like, well, that was I don't know if it'll be like that this time. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I've heard of mostly bad experiences flying with instruments, so I hope it stays good for you.
I know. So I don't. Yeah, I'm doing more and more of that like these days. But so hopefully, like my experiences stay that. Watch now, I'll jinx myself. Now I don't get my guitar will get broken or whatever else. But that'll be my luck. But no, it's been cool, and like just these venues have been like very receptive of like having me and stuff. And I think the hardest thing about going other places, like especially if there's not a built-in crowd, is like trying to get people to like come out that don't know you, and that's the most challenging part. So like any place where like you gotta sell tickets, I'm like, I don't know anybody in Seattle. Like, at least Nashville, I know people. Like some of like my girlfriend's friends, some of my friends live down in Nashville, so like that one wasn't that bad, but it'll be what it is. And like my thing is just try it. Why not see what happens?
Yeah. Well, John, honestly, thank you so much for coming on. I think you hit me up a while ago, and I was finally going through some messages and realized that I had not gotten back to you. I'm so glad that you're still willing to come on. It was a great session. Like you said, the Americana vibe, I always love working on it. It's so much fun. What's your socials like? Where can they keep up with you?
So on Instagram, that's really pretty much what I use too. There's a Facebook out there too, but on Instagram, it's just John_Pronto. And then on Spotify, just John Pronto. You'll see it. My logo is it's like a little bird. It's like a vulture.
Yeah, that vulture logo is pretty sick.
I do like that one too. And I think it fits the vibe. So yes, if check it out. See what's out there. New album or EP or whatever you want to call it, coming out in a couple weeks. And For the Birds is the last one that's out. That came out in August. So
awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me as well. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It was a great time, and so I appreciate you, the whole crew here. You guys are awesome. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, this was first session of 2026 recorded on the books. So excited to be putting this one out. We'll have links for everything he was talking about down in the description, like Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. If there's a link tree, we'll have it there. Make sure you go follow John Pronto so you can keep up with his gigs. You never know where you're going to find him. Maybe you'll catch him in Seattle later this year, or maybe you'll catch him in South Carolina. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions for him, please leave them in the comments. Maybe he'll respond. You never know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.
Exposed, turned to stone by the light. Well, it's the easy part. Where it ends is where it starts. Well, it's the easy part to admire.